Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's me again, it's Casey, and we're here to talk about everything about fragrances. Now I have here in my hands the Prestige Royal. So decadent sounding, doesn't it? It sounds so imperial, it sounds like, oh my gosh, so divine. And what is it actually? Now, do you know one thing I love about fragrances is I have a really notoriously bad memory, but it actually helps bring back some memories. This is a fragrance that I actually dragged with me a couple of weeks ago when I went traveling to Croatia. And to be honest, I didn't really quite crave this fragrance, but I just kind of like blindly picked it. And I'm kind of glad I did, because now it honestly reminds me of that place and my time there and the nights there. It's really beautiful. Now, let's talk about the notes. So this fragrance is a very fruity fragrance. It's a very fruity fragrance. It starts off with some mint and some black currant in the opening, and then you have some rose, some cinnamon, and some water lily. And then in the base notes, you have some amber, some vanilla, some leather, some ambrette, and then you have some benzoin and some cedarwood. Now, this is very similar to the other fragrance that I was telling you about, the OG version of Le Prestige Bold, in the fact that this seems to have the same similar notes of that amber, that vanilla, and that cedarwood. And I have a lot of things to say about that. I really hate that mix. It really gives off this vibe of it feeling like it's really poorly blended, and tries to mask that. And so I am particularly not sold on that vibe. Now, this fragrance has so much potential. The mint and the black currant really the mint is really in the background. Like you don't even smell it. It's only when someone says mint and you really go looking for it that you can smell it. But the black currant is there, and it's really sweet and it's juicy, which is brilliant. This definitely, I would say, is a very fruity fragrance because of that. It definitely feels like there's a lot more tropical fruits in here, even though they're not noted. It somehow seems to give off like it has some, the very tropical type, stereotypical. I'm thinking like something that would be an herba pura, but less sweet and no candies. Like just that bit of the opening, just how fruity that fragrance is, and less sharp, and none of the candy or the sweetness really. And then it's paired back by that green note in the water lily and the mint. The water lily just adds more into texture, and the rose is so front and center. Like it's a big thing, and it actually is quite beautiful when you look to that note and you recognize it. It's quite beautiful. The cinnamon, I have no idea where they're getting that from, because I don't smell any cinnamon personally. The amber, the vanilla, and the cedarwood is so clear. Like when I tell you, the amber and the vanilla almost kind of like adds this DNA to the fragrance that just is not my favorite. And then the cedarwood is like this creamy, dense part of the fragrance, really. Kind of gives it like the kind of coconut vibe that Bold was getting. Yeah, it just kind of adds this creaminess to the fragrance. It says it has leather, and no, I guess you could fake that it has leather, but it doesn't have leather in the typical sense. If it does have leather, it has like this waxed feel of leather, because it's not like a dense, fresh leather, if you could say that. And the benzoin really is not even that clear. I would just rather call it amber. And yeah, that's about it. So this fragrance is definitely a floral and more of a spicy, woody fragrance. I wore this in Croatia, and it really paired well with much more sunny weather. So I would definitely say this is more of a summer fragrance than I would say it's a winter. Obviously you can wear whatever you like whenever you like, and I feel like because it's a summer fragrance, you could kind of wear it all year round. Just be aware that it won't perform as well as it would during the summertime. because this fragrance in the summertime probably lasts 6 hours or maybe a little bit longer. But for me, it lasted 6 hours, which feels like 4 hours, which in winter will feel like 2 hours. And that is a no. I would rather not wear the fragrance at all. And so in saying that, this is definitely a beautiful fragrance. Now, is it my favorite? Absolutely not. If I was to rebuy the collection, would I buy this? Absolutely not. I think there's better fragrances for me to buy, but that is more reason for me to remind you all that don't blind buy, and get your little samples when you can, and when you can't, honestly, wait out, see when the hype dies down, when the prices go down, and keep watching the videos like this and reading the comments until you can kind of get an idea. Really, there's no fragrance that I could even say this is quite similar to that you could smell, unfortunately. And yeah, I haven't smelt anything that's particularly close to this, or I don't remember anything that's quite close to this, but it definitely does have that opening of like sweetness, of like herba pura, but like without the candy, without the sweetness, but just the tropical feel added with herbaceous and a little bit of spicy notes, and then rounded off with some amber and musk, and amber, vanilla, and almost feels like it has musk, but it's a scent is cedar wood. I hope this really like gives you an idea. Let me know if you've smelt this fragrance. What are your thoughts about it? Have you seen any comments or any other reviews, and what did you think about that? Unfortunately, there's no Fragrantica version of this, so it's really hard to get people's opinions on this. So if you've ever smelt it and you have some thoughts to share, even if they're not nice, share them, because it's going to help someone else make a better decision next time. So yeah, until next time, bye. Thank you so much.